on the behalf of Department of Ecology and Environmental Science, welcome you all to the inaugural function of Wildlife Week 2022. There may be days when I can't help an animal in need, but a day will never come that I won't try. True words by Paul Oxton.
I would like to request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Gurmeet Singh Ji, our guest of honor, Dr. S. Balachandran Sir, and our respected head of the department, Professor D. Ramamurthy Sir, to please come forward and light the lamp. I also welcome the faculty coordinator and the student coordinator to light the lamp. Now, I would request our head of the department, Professor D. Ramamurthy Sir, to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning to one and all. It is my hearty, pleasant moment to give you welcome address to all my high dignified officers, scientists, and beloved students and research scholars. And I would like to quote a word based on Odom, the study of interrelationships among organism and environment. The term he was already in the year of 1960s. That definition was identified, and still we have to have a good link with that in life. So this occasion, this auspicious function is coincident with the scientists who have already worked hard in the previous years, and based on that recently we got one news that one of the Swante, Honorable Swante has Swante Babu identified some research work, got some Nobel Prize in hereditary, gene and hereditary. So these are all we people and all coming from that hereditary. So we have to concentrate on this type of research and work hard, try to bring up the lot many research findings in order to improve our university. So when I started it, I thought of having this thing. So I am coming to the point now. So on behalf of our Ecology and Environmental Science Department, welcome you all to this Wildlife Week celebration 2022. National Wildlife Week is celebrated every year in the first week of October, aiming to protect and preserve national flora and fauna and to create awareness about wildlife and its importance. I extend my warm welcome to our Honorable Vice Chancellor for gracing the occasion and extending his wholehearted support and being here with us as our chief guest and motivating the students and the scholars, including myself as a student ever last. So I also get motivation and learning much more things. But people who have got life in personal life, they are unable to escape from home, unable to work hard. There's one traffic, scientific truth maybe. Sorry. And I also welcome Dr. S. Balachandran, Deputy Director, Bombay Natural History Society, for being the guest of honor, sir. Your knowledge and experience of the wildlife of India will be enriching for the audience, sir. I am also thankful to Sri J. Justin Mohan, Indian Forest Service, Secretary of the National Biodiversity Authority of India, for accepting our invitation for delivering a talk online on Indian biodiversity. I also extend a warm welcome to my hearty fellow colleagues like senior professors like Professor N. Parthasarathi, Professor S. Jayakumar, Professor S. Sundrabandian, and Professor S. Sivakumarji, Mr. Madhimaran, Professor S. Madhimaran, T. Jayakumar, and Dr. Subhankar Chatterjee. A few of the professors are out of session due to some prior commitment. I also welcome Dr. Gurjit Kaur Madam and Dr. Gobatan Sagu energetic colleague, both of them colleagues are doing very good job, and the coordinators of this program 2022, that is Wildlife Week Celebration 2022. I also welcome non-teaching staff and research scholars of our department. I also extend my welcome to the Pondicherry University family fraternity and staff of the university. I give warm welcome to Dr. Nandivarman, who is inevitable gentleman and coordinator of Green Campus of our university. So lastly, let us welcome the soldiers of our students, brave heart, action, gentle scientist, living budding scientist, and that is my dear students, that is for your meticulous effort for the last 2 weeks, without which this function wouldn't have been feasible. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Now I request our head of the department, Professor D. Ramamurthy sir, to honor our chief guest, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Gurmeet Singh ji. Thank you, sir. Now I request our chief guest, Professor Gurmeet Singh sir, to honor Dr. S. Balachandra sir, our guest of honor.
I would like to welcome Ms. Praveena Jayachandran, one of the student coordinator for this event, to come to the podium and share with us the scope of the program.
A warm good morning to all. I am Praveena Jayachandran, one of the student coordinators for the Wildlife Week Celebration 2022. Wildlife Week is celebrated every year on the first week of October. It's an opportunity to celebrate the diverse forms of wild fauna and flora and raise awareness for their conservation. This idea was first proposed in 1952 with the long-term objective of protecting our endangered and threatened species. The Indian government also established the Indian Board of Wildlife for the same. The Department of Ecology and Environmental Sciences organizes the event every year, which is a purely student-driven program. Continuing the legacy, we are proudly celebrating the event this year too and named the event Wild Age. This year's theme for Wildlife Week is Recovering Key Species for Ecosystem Restoration. So, what is a keystone species? Keystone species is an organism that helps define an entire ecosystem. That is, irrespective of their population size, they have a huge impact on their ecosystem. These species are critical for the survival of other species in the system. That they can be huge predators or unassuming plants, but without them, the ecosystem may not survive. It's like the keystone in an arch, that is, without the keystone, the arch will collapse. Similarly, without the keystone species, the entire ecosystem will collapse. Cheetah is one such keystone species, and cheetah reintroduction is in limelight nowadays. Indian population of Asian cheetah got wiped out in 1952 and several efforts were made to introduce them back. At last, on September 17 this year, 8 Southeastern African cheetahs were introduced to Kuno National Park in Madhya Pradesh from Namibia. 12 more are expected to arrive in this October. Let's go through some other keystone species. First one is sea otters. They maintain the balance of nearshore ecosystems such as Gulf forests and estuaries. And next one is Great Indian Bustard, which is a representative bird species of grasslands. Then next one is bees. As we know, they hold ecosystem together by supporting pollination. Then elephants, they are ecosystem engineers. Then threatened marine species like dugong, whale shark and tiger shark, they restore the balance of the marine ecosystem. The preparation for the event began many weeks before in the background. The students devoted many hours despite having their busy schedules to make this event successful. We began our formal celebration with an awareness rally and a flash mob on 27th September inside the Pondicherry University campus. These are some pictures of the event. It was an interesting way of making students aware of wildlife conservation and to publicize the event. As part of Wildlife Week celebrations, we are having informative lectures from some eminent personalities. We are so lucky to have Dr. Balachandran sir, Deputy Director of Bombay Natural History Society among us, and sir will deliver a talk on the coastal birds of Tamil Nadu after this inaugural session. In the post-lunch session, we will have a wildlife photography lecture by Mr. Navaneet Krishnan. He is a wildlife filmmaker, photographer and conservationist. On the second day of the event, Sri J. Justin Mohan is an IFS officer and Secretary of the National Biodiversity Authority India will deliver an online talk on Indian Biodiversity and National Biodiversity Authority. Today afternoon we are going to screen a few documentaries on wildlife. As a part of the event, we are also conducting interesting competitions like quiz competitions on wildlife, photography competition, essay writing and so on. Thank you all, and we hope you will enjoy this 3-day event and will learn much more about this wildlife conservation.
Thank you, Praveena.
For the felicitation address, I would welcome Dr. S. Balachandran sir, Deputy Director of Bombay Natural History Society, to the podium.
Good morning to everybody. Actually, this is my 7th or 8th time I am participating as a guest in this audience, even some of your seniors, and also I have got a lot of association with you people by taking your lot of seniors to that nearest Kaliveri tank, that is Kaliveri Lake, the recently declared Ramsar site, where I did a lot of bird migration studies through that marking of the birds. So actually called the bird ringing. So that's why I am always associated with the Pondicherry University, as early from Dr. Priyata Vidar, and still, and I am very thankful to Dr. J. Kumar and keep on having faith on me to invite this function. Okay, just why that our wildlife, particularly today my talk is going to be about coastal birds of Tamil Nadu, what's the past and present status, which I have learned through more than 40 years of my experience I will share in the future. And I had an opportunity to work with this one, more than 18 Ramsar sites from India spread over across India, like Assam, West Bengal, and I had a very long association with the Chilka Lake, like that. Okay, with the way I want to share all my experience to this function, so that the people can come forward to conserve these birds, and why I am attaching with this field for, so that I will be talking more about in this my presentation. As our Vice Chancellor is a busy man, he may have to go for some other meeting and or some other schedule, so that I don't want to take much time. And actually in India, particularly Tamil Nadu, is attracting that kind of migratory birds which is coming to India, coming to Tamil Nadu to not only to stay or spend the winter, but they are also going to the other countries located in southern hemisphere, which we have proved through our studies. So, these birds connect the people. Okay, we have actually, that's what I have got opportunity to go to 39 countries to present my findings. So that's it. Migratory birds connect the people. This I want to tell the people to come forward to protect the birds. Without the cooperation of the other countries, we cannot protect it. Our own effort will be wasted if the other countries are also not taking part in this conservation of these migratory birds coming from Arctic region. And it's a very small tiny birds. You will be surprised to see a small tiny birds which is weighing less than 20 grams is coming to India by traveling 8,000 kilometers, and not only they are terminating the journey within India, but they are going up to the southern hemisphere countries like Australia and even Africa also. So this is amazing studies. I want to share that experience. So we are running short of people to take forward this conservation effort, so that through this kind of Wildlife Week celebration, I am sharing my experience how this study is important, and I am very thankful for the Pondicherry University, particularly our ecology department. Earlier we used to call this a Salimari School of Ecology when it was started. That time itself I used to come and interact with. I know most of the professors who worked here also. I am feeling like coming home like that, okay, every year. Thank you for this opportunity. I wish all success for this Wildlife Week celebration, which started just they inaugurated. For the next 3 days it will be going to be like that, and 8th October is also being celebrated the World Migratory Bird Day. So this is a combination of both. So we have got this one wild migratory bird celebration in Kanyakumari, as well as the Wildlife Week celebration on the 8th. Thank you for giving this opportunity, and I will talk more during my presentation. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your enriching knowledge of wildlife and conservation, and we are eager to know more about the coastal birds of Tamil Nadu from you during the post-tea session.
Now, I would request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Gurmeet Singh Ji, to deliver the inaugural address.
Good day, my dear friends. This is an inaugural address. Inaugural address is going to be in the form of a kind of an advice which I am going to give to the young friends. Our guest of honor, Dr. Balachandran, then Head of the Department, Professor Ramamurthy, Dr. Gurjeet Kaur, Dr. Govardhan Sahu, and all senior colleagues sitting here, our Dean Madam, Professor Malvika Deo, and all other staff members of this, and our Green Campus crusader, I call, right, Dr. Nandi Varman, who has been trying his best to keep things alive, but then there are limitations. He will not be able to do it alone unless the whole ecology department helps him out in his endeavor. That's one. Now, I am very delighted that you are celebrating this week every year. At least I had the pleasure of participating in this in 3 such events earlier. And it is through these events, by organizing poster competitions, painting competitions, debating competitions, lecture competitions, all kinds of things associated with wildlife. When you do, people will understand what is it. Suppose if I give you a topic, that conservation of tiger. So unless you know about it, what will you write, isn't it? So that's why these competitions are very important. And of course it is important for everybody, but it is all the more important for ecology department students. I remember when I was in class 6th, I had the pleasure of going to a different country. This was the first trip as school students. And when we were on the coastal area, the boat went near that coral reef which we were to see, and he switched off engines, and people were chatting. He just indicated that person, not here, elsewhere. He just indicated no talking, no sound of any kind. And then there was a glass base, and then they took us there. Gradually, boat with little movement sailed over those coral reef, and we were able to see. And many of us young students, we started wondering why, if we talk when we went out, what difference would it make if the boat engine is not switched off, or if we were allowed to talk? We could have discussed what is it, things would have been better. They didn't realize that there is a life, and that life which is there underneath in the form of various kinds of corals that we have. If we don't protect, what detrimental effect it will have on our coastal areas. That was when we came out, and when we were talking about, I'm talking about in 6th class. Then teacher explained that if we don't preserve, it will lead to a lot of floods, a lot of coastal damage. High tide when you have, and if you get severe high tide, this is the part which protects the coastal areas. We never realized. And as contrast to that, when I went to one of the coastal areas in our own country. Again next year. We should be taken to various parts of the country every year, 15 days trip. And I was fortunate enough to participate in most of these trips. My father would make sure that whatever it may be, I have to go with the school. So I went around South India, western part, northern part, Kashmir, everywhere during my school days. So when I went to the coastal area here, the boatman was going and the teacher said, move fast, we have very little time. On the coral reef, he was with full engine on and he was cutting even the coral. We said, what is it that you're doing? He said, don't worry, nothing is going to go wrong with this. And he just moved on and he says, no, people were talking, singing. We never realized the importance. And subsequently, we realized that how important is that. And gradually, this dawned on us that to prevent coral reef in and around is very, very important. And if one has to see this in the real sense of the word, which is comparable to the best anywhere else, you go to Lakshadweep. Totally unexplored and everything preserved in the best of ways. That is one of the reasons that area is still safe, protected. But this is what we have to tell our friends, that gradually if we allow them to grow and when they become solid rocks, that is what is protected. And that is what we need to explain to our friends, which we don't do. Now this is what you have to do. In this wildlife, you have to explain to everybody the importance of striking a balance. We invariably say that, well, nothing wrong, you can kill tigers, you can kill elephants. And whenever I read the news of any elephant dying because of a rail accident or somewhere and we see the photograph, it really pains, I'm telling you. Because we need to strike this balance, and if this balance is there, you will find the natural disasters that we are facing very often. Excessive rains, excessive floodings, excessive marooning of the area, land going down, the balance shifting, people suffering because of this will not be there if this kind of a balance is struck. When cheetahs were brought in, people were saying that, well, our government is unnecessarily wasting money, special train has been sent. This is a part of that balance. Now cheetahs have come, 8 cheetahs have come, some more are going to be there. You will find the number will grow, and India has given a lesson to the world. Project Tiger that we started, our tiger was going to be nearly getting extinct when we embarked on this project. And now the tiger numbers have grown substantially. And we have shown to the world that if it is to be done, this is the way. And we have really carried it out beautifully. Now we are trying to protect elephants, we are trying to protect other species. That is what is important. And this is what we have gradually come to know, that if this balance is not kept in the real sense of the word, in the real spirit, we will also become endangered, let me tell you. You are not safe if you are not keeping your animal kingdom safe. This is important. So this is what we need to tell. And when you organize these competitions, painting, essay competition, debating competition, on any topic which I am sure they would have chosen very carefully, it will send a message. And you will say, what is it, if our department does it year after year? The story doesn't end here. I would urge all of you that after this week's celebration is over, don't limit it to this week only. Then by word of mouth, it is your duty to tell your neighborhood, to tell wherever you get a chance, any school you visit, any college you visit, any society you visit, to tell them the importance of this. If you tell, even if it goes to, let's say, 30% of our society, we would have won the battle. That is important. Am I clear? So this is what I urge my young friend. This is what I said. That will be in the piece of an advisory. It's not an inaugural talk. That we need to strike ecological balance in the best of ways, in the interest of a country. You would have noted that our population is growing, right? Enormously. Now, if we don't strike this balance, you will find that the other side will be destroyed. That will lead to other natural calamities which will destroy you also. And you have seen this in the recent past, last 2 years, in the form of flooding, excessive rains which we had, it caused enormous damage. Recently in Uttarakhand, the kind of landslides that we had, we never heard of this 20 years back. We would freely drive around wherever you can. Now there is a danger. People are scared to drive because you never know where the landslide is going to be and you will get stuck. This all can be prevented if we respect our nature. That is important. So purpose of wildlife celebration, wildlife week celebration is to start into a process which will lead everybody to start respecting the nature, to start respecting the environment, to start respecting our other friends, wildlife, sea animals, marine life, wherever possible we need to respect. You know, Japanese are very fond of a fish called whale. They like to eat. And there was a time they were going in for catching this endlessly. And you go to Japanese restaurants, I have had the pleasure of this. They would serve. They would treat a cuisine called shark fin soup, and it is the most expensive item you can take. It's very expensive. Something like in our currency, if I tell you, if normal dish is 200 rupees, shark fin soup will cost you about 4,000 rupees. So that's the difference. So they were just cutting the fins and making soup out of it. What was the damage? The damage was sharks started dying. They said it is the wrong thing we are doing. Now they are fond of it, but then they have devised methods of multiplying this. They said if we kill 100, we should have 1,000 being grown. So whale protection they have embarked on. So this respect that they have started according to they have accorded a lot of respect to preservation. That is what we need to do it. It's a small nation, small number. They are very fond of all this. It's not that they have stopped eating, but they have started moving in a direction which will set the balance right. Whale will not become extinct. Sharks will not be getting extinct. So this is what we need to do in our society also. If in the eastern side or Kerala we have a lot of rail accidents and our jumbo friends are dying, we need to take precautions. We need to evolve some method by which we can protect our wildlife. So I'm glad that you are celebrating this every year. But my advice to my young friends sitting here is that don't limit it to this celebration of a week. Take it further. Once this is over, you should go to other schools, because don't expect that teachers will be doing. You can go there, address the young friends of your 6th class students, 4th class, 7th class, 8th class, wherever you can get a chance. Go to villages, tell your friends the importance of this. If we do that, we would have won our battle, and that is what is the need of art. It is a very important concept, and I'm glad your department is taking up in the right direction. Not only that, including your campus. There also you need to strike a balance. Don't allow anybody to cut things in an unlimited manner. We had a fire recently, I felt very bad about it. But this was a handiwork of somebody. If you catch somebody like this, take him to task. This is important. So I'm happy you're doing it year after year, and my compliments to the department. I will appreciate if all teachers can also join hands in all sincerity to spread this awareness in and around Pondicherry. That is also very important, because Pondicherry, being a tourist destination, government is not paying enough attention, let me tell you. All beaches are, if you have been, I am saying all, without exception, are not what they should be. Very dirty, not kept properly. It's a shame, I'm using strong words. There is a lake they talk about, it's a beautiful lake, Australia Lake they talk about. They told me, I'm in the first 3 years I did not visit. They said, sir, have you been? It's a beautiful place. So I went there. Let me tell you, I could not stand there for more than 5 minutes, 3 minutes. It was stinking, and all kinds of, you name a thing, it is there. You know, people are defecating in large numbers, and the rest of the story I need not tell you. What is it? Where are we? Are we keeping balance? This is what we need to do, and I think you can take a lead. If government doesn't do it, you can volunteer and keep things clean and then tell the government that look, we have done it, now you take on from here. If we are careful about it, we will beat Goa hands down in tourism. And that is what is required. If you encourage tourism, you will find that our city will be number one that way. And if the revenue is earned, more money is earned, obviously it can be used for the welfare measures. Right now we don't earn anything, therefore we don't spend also. But we uselessly spend. Wherever we have to employ one, we employ 10. Pondicherry Engineering College is an example, the way they brought it down to 0 level. Let's not get into that debate, but then whatever is our duty, we will do that. Rest, whether they do it or not, we will not get into that. Once we do our duty, we would have won our battle. Thank you very much for inviting me here, and I compliment everybody here for organizing this.
Thank you, sir, for inspiring us with your wise words and encouraging us to do better.
Finally, I would request Dr. Gurjeet Kaur ma'am, one of the faculty coordinators of Wildlife Week 2022 and Assistant Professor, Department of Ecology and Environmental Science, to propose the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to one and all. It is my pleasure to have been asked to propose the vote of thanks. Myself, Dr. Gurjeet, on behalf of Department of Ecology and Environment Science and on behalf of the entire team of Wildlife Week celebration, extend gratitude to esteemed Vice Chancellor Sir, Professor Gurmeet Singh Ji, the man behind the success of this university, for sparing your valuable time and gracing the occasion, sir, as the chief guest. Thank you, sir, for your constant support and encouragement and your wise words. And without your support and encouragement, this event would not have been possible. Thank you, sir. I also extend my sincere thanks to guest of honor, Dr. S. Balachandran sir, Deputy Director, Bombay Natural History Society, for being here with us in the Wildlife Week celebrations. Sir is also going to deliver an enriching talk on coastal birds of Tamil Nadu in the post-tea session. Thank you, sir. We are honored to have you here with us. I am also thankful to Shri J. Justin Mohan sir, IFS, Secretary of National Biodiversity Authority, for being the part of this celebration. Sir is going to ignite the younger minds with his online talk on biodiversity of India. I also extend my thanks to Shri Navneet Krishnan for sparing his valuable time in the art of wildlife photography, and I am sure students will be benefited from his wise experience on wildlife photography. I am also thankful to the Director of Studies, the Director of Culture, the Registrar Sir, Finance Officer, PRO Office, OSD Office, the Department of Electronic Media and Mass Communication, Computer Center and the Electrical Wing for their constant support. I also thank Professor Malvika Deo, Dean, School of Management, for giving us permission to conduct the event in the School of Management Auditorium. Thank you, ma'am. I also extend my warm thanks to Professor Pratap Kumar Shetty Sir, Dean, School of Life Sciences, for his constant support and encouragement. I also extend my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to Professor D. Ramamurthy Sir, Head, Department of Ecology and Environment Sciences, for guiding us, motivating us always with his kind word. Thank you, sir, for having trust on us. It goes without saying that without the support and guidance of all the fellow colleagues, Professor N. Parthasarthi sir, Professor S. Jayakumar sir, Professor S. M. Sundarpandian sir, Professor K. Shivakumar sir, Dr. Madhimaran Natarajan sir, Dr. T. Jayakumar sir, Dr. S. Chatterjee sir, and Dr. Govardhan Sahu, this event would not have been successful. I am also thankful to the non-teaching staff of the Department of Ecology and Environment Science for their support. I also extend my sincere thanks to the colleagues from other departments, staff, research scholars, and students for making this event successful. I also extend a heartfelt thanks to all the students and the scholars of Department of Ecology and Environment Sciences for their active participation in all the events and the time they have spent for the actualization of this program. Thank you all and have a wonderful day.